I am Reverend Dr. Henry Lee Bates, and our Way to a Wonderful Life message for today is titled, Genuine Gratitude Has Prospering Power. Genuine gratitude has prospering power. Here we're coming up on Thanksgiving. We know that Thanksgiving and gratitude kind of all go together. Now, William James, the great mystical philosopher, wrote, the deepest craving of human nature is the need to be appreciated. The deepest craving of human nature is the need to be appreciated. And we feel this sense of appreciation as we realize that gratitude consists of being more aware of what we have than what we don't. More aware of what we have than what we don't. We will never really feel appreciated without a genuine sense of gratitude. And that awareness of what we have, rather than a greater awareness of what we don't have, gives us that genuine sense of gratitude. Now, the feelings that block us from a true sense of gratitude have to do with our self-esteem. Ingratitude is the opposite of deserving. If we don't feel deserving of receiving, it is difficult, if not impossible, to foster the sense of gratitude. People who feel undeserving will often look for a motive as to why they are receiving, often thinking that the giver wants something in return. But the person giving with a true sense of gratitude gives the person receiving an opportunity to feel deserving. When they do not, the giver is not diminished, but the real gift, the gift of deserving, is not received. This is what the Mastermind Jesus was referring to when he stated, do not cast your pearls before swine. There are those who have created such a strong separation between them and good that they cannot realize any real sense of gratitude. They are immediately suspicious of people who give to them. A person who has a genuine sense of generosity never experiences those kind of feelings. So in our prayer life, it is important to ask for more joy, more beauty, more love, and greater harmony in our lives, because this is a prayer that is answered, for these are the gifts of the Spirit. Now, our joy may manifest as a beautiful relationship, or a new house, or a new car, but it is the energy of joy that creates the demonstration. We must give thanks for these gifts of Spirit and then release our prayers and trust Spirit, working through our consciousness to bring forth our highest and greatest good that makes us feel that sense of joy, that sense of life being beautiful, that sense of loving life, loving all that we see, including ourselves, and that sense of a greater harmony. That's a greater harmony and a greater awareness that everything is working to our good. Now, as we in the United States celebrate Thanksgiving this year, even with the hurricanes, even with the floods, even with the tornadoes and the fires and the political dramas, we still have much to be grateful for. The original Thanksgiving was not religious or political. It was about sharing and giving. The Pilgrims shared with the Indians, and the Indians shared with the Pilgrims. The essence of this holiday is to share what we have and to give to those we appreciate. And there remains in our world a great many people who would benefit from our sharing and giving if we have learned to realize that all life is God. All life is God. We can appreciate those who give us an opportunity to share the good that we have received. And the one who benefits the most from our giving is ourselves. And this is the truth. We meet our challenges through giving and the gratitude that comes with our ability to give. It brings us into that greater consciousness of abundance, that greater consciousness of being one with the Spirit when we give. Even if someone feels like they don't deserve it, the fact that we are willing to give even to those who feel like they don't deserve it or show no great sense of appreciation or gratitude towards us, we still get our consciousness uplifted by that giving. Let's look at these words from the great Dr. Robert Visser. This is from his essay, You Control Consciousness. And actually, this was one of his messages that he gave to his church congregation back in 1992 or 93. He said, your only challenge in life is to stop looking at outer conditions as power objects or symbols and to recognize the unlimited, unformed, creative consciousness which you are. You should live in a world of beauty and opulence, but what you are is greater than what you demonstrate. It is this limitless consciousness of your unmanifested thinking that challenges you. Your desire and your thought give this unformed mind substance its form. What you think of yourself is accepted by spirit. You create your conviction of being it. What you conceive in mind is manifest in your outer world. Your idea has power. You can produce what you desire. Just as the seed that has creative power must be placed in its creative medium, the soil, so your idea must remain in consciousness. Let your ideas finish themselves. Each completed idea makes way for a new idea. Life cannot be stopped. You cannot stop living. Are you maintaining the quality of consciousness you want to sustain? Your life does have meaning, but it must be consciously established. You are perfect, you are whole, and you are complete. But you must know this. No one can grow spiritually for you any more than another person can eat for you, any more than another person can breathe for you. No one can solve a problem for you or make you rich or poor, only you. You have access to the wisdom of the ancients. There is no Messiah nor seer to give you the answer you want. Only you can meet your challenges, and you can. Now, Dr. Bitzer is telling us in his own perfect way that we must establish the consciousness of both gratitude and abundance. A grateful person has a higher sense of self-esteem than someone who is not grateful. A sense of gratitude creates a sense of being appreciated, and both free our mind to receive ideas and the awareness of opportunities that shall prosper us. Now, the Mastermind Jesus summarized the spiritual law regarding abundance in the following statements. He said, for unto everyone that hath shall be given, and they shall have abundance, but from them that hath not shall be taken away even that which they have. And we will never fully believe that we have, no matter how much material wealth we may possess, unless we have a consciousness of genuine gratitude. Now, let's go back and let's read those words that we began with this program. And the author of this quote is unknown, but we were gifted with this simple statement, and it's a profound statement. Gratitude consists of being more aware of what you have than what you don't. And then we go and we compare that to the Mastermind Jesus' statement, for unto everyone that has shall be given, and they shall have abundance. But from them that hath not shall be taken away even that which they have, even that which they have. And this is why consciousness is so important. To develop a consciousness that understands and knows that we are the one. We are the one that's responsible for making everything possible for ourselves. So let's go back and look at those words one more time from the great Dr. Bitzer, and we'll break these down as we go through them. It says, your only challenge in life is to stop looking at outer conditions as power objects or symbols and to recognize the unlimited, unformed, creative consciousness which you are. Now, what does he mean? Stop looking at outer conditions as power objects or symbols. He's telling us, don't look at the things around you and make judgments about them. Like, I only have an old beat-up car. You know, how am I going to ever have the consciousness of having a new car? How am I going to have a Porsche when I can't even get this old Pinto to run? You know, we got to take that consciousness away from ourselves and start seeing ourselves looking beyond the physical, looking beyond the material. Faith is the evidence of things not seen. That's what he's telling us. build within your mind, build within your consciousness that faith of the evidence of things not seen that is that is going to prosper you. Because you should live in a world of beauty and opulence, but what you are is greater than what you demonstrate. It is this limitless consciousness of your unmanifested thinking that challenges you. Your desire and your thought give this unformed mind substance its form. What you think of yourself is accepted by the Spirit. You create your conviction of being it. What you conceive in mind is manifest in your outer world. So what he's telling us is, as we go around thinking, every thought is creating something. Every thought is joining with other thoughts to create something marvelous. Now, I remember in one of Dr. Bitzer's books, he said that what we get out of life is what we think of 51% of the time. But let's think of it this way. If we won a lottery of $15 million, we would only get 51% of it if our mind and consciousness was on the 51% mark. We wouldn't get the whole 15 million. Somehow, some way, we would lose it. Somehow, some way, it would get all messed up, and we wouldn't get the 15 million. We would only get about 7.5 to 8 million. So he's telling us, get your consciousness in order. Get your conscious. Condition your mind to manifest the good. Condition your mind to see beyond what you've previously experienced and see the greater possibilities that can open up for you as you put your mind to work for you in a greater way. Because your idea has power, whatever that idea may be of yourself. You can produce what you desire, just as the seed that has creative power must be placed in its creative medium, the soil, so your idea must remain in consciousness. Let your ideas finish themselves. Each completed idea makes way for a new idea. Life cannot be stopped. You cannot stop living. Are you maintaining the quality of consciousness that you want to sustain? Well, think about that. So many times people want to rush the universe. They want to make things happen right now. But when we're a wise person, we take time to decide what it is that we want, and we think about all the consequences of what having that thing means to us. And I was reading an article today, I think it was off the Yahoo News or somewhere. I read newspapers online every day, and it said the person that won the $1.5 billion lottery has not come forward yet. And they were supposing that the person, most likely, was going and finding tax attorneys and trust attorneys and all these people to help them, investment people, to help them manage the money and to manage the tax consequences. And I thought, that's a wise person. The unwise person would have run down with their ticket to the lottery office and said, when can I get my check? How quick can I get my check? A wise person takes time to decide what they're going to do. Takes time to understand the consequences of their actions and their decisions. And that's what Dr. Bitzer is telling us. Let our ideas finish themselves. Each completed idea makes way for a new idea. Life cannot be stopped. He tells us your life does have meaning, but it must be consciously established. And consciously established by what? By the words that we use, by the way we think about things, the way we judge the world around us, the way we judge ourselves, how we see the world in which we live, how we see ourselves in the world in which we live. All these things matter. All these things make a great difference in how our life is going to work. Do we see ourselves as a generous person, a giving person, a loving person? Or do we see ourselves as a taker that's only out to get what we can get, that all the things that we do them for money? That's not what we want to be doing. Because the person that only does things for money never ends up being a happy person. We want to give freely. Freely give, freely receive. mean you're always going to give money? No, it means give of your ideas, give of your skills, give of your abilities, give of your talents, give of yourself, your very heart, mind, and soul to the world in which you live, and reap the benefits that come from that giving. So are you maintaining the quality of consciousness you want to sustain, he asks us. Says your life does have meaning, but it must be consciously established. Now he tells us, you are perfect, you are whole, and you are complete. But you must know it. You must know it. Most of us don't. Most of us are always finding something wrong with ourselves. Oh, my aching back, or oh, my head hurts, or oh, I got to go to work again today, and I don't know how much longer I can go on with this stuff. All these things hold us back. We create our own chains of bondage to the situations and the circumstances that we're in by talking down to ourselves, talking down about ourselves. We must realize there's something more going on. There's a power for good in the universe, and we can use it, but we have to use it in the nature of which it is. And it's always for the good, always for that greater joy of life, that greater feeling of life is beautiful, and then some. Let's look at the rest of these words from Dr. Bitzer. He says, no one can grow spiritually for you any more than another person can eat for you. No one can solve a problem for you or make you rich or poor. Only you. Only you. No one can think for us. If we keep thinking we're poor, we keep thinking we don't have, we keep thinking about all the things that we don't have, and we're not going to have much. He says, you have access to the wisdom of the ancients. You know, most of us do. Most people look at the Bible, the Holy Bible and the Torah, as symbols of religion or objects of religion. They don't understand that in that Holy Bible, some of the greatest philosophy, some of the greatest inspiration that you'll ever read if you read it in the right way. The book of Proverbs and Psalms, the book of Isaiah, the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You read it from a non-religious perspective and read it as someone who is looking to these authors of these great books in the Bible as someone who's giving us guidance and wisdom so that our own lives can take on a greater happiness and a greater joy and a greater abundance, and it'll make a lot more sense to you. The people that wrote the Bible, they didn't write it for themselves. They wrote it for you and me. The people that put those words together didn't do it so they could be prospered and whole. They did it so that we could learn to be prosperous and whole, perfect, whole, and complete. Dr. Bitzer says there is no Messiah nor fear to give you the answer you want. I would say there's no Messiah or guru to give you the answers you want. Only you can meet your challenges, and you can, he tells us. You can. You can control your consciousness. And I've stated this before, and I'll state it again. Dr. Norman Vincent, one of the great teachers of the 19th century, taught us that we can displace those old negative, disempowering thoughts, those things that depreciate us, with more wonderful, more inspiring, more motivating, more enriching thoughts about ourselves. It doesn't do us any good to say, I want to lift other people up until I be lifted up myself. And I be lifted up. As the Mastermind Jesus said, I lift all men unto me. Dr. Bitzer was telling us, too, that we must lift up the consciousness. We must lift up a grateful, genuine sense of gratitude. We must create a sense of being appreciated and appreciate ourselves. We must appreciate those things about us that are unique to us. For unto everyone that has shall be given, and they shall have abundance. But from them that have not, even what they have shall be taken away. That's from the Mastermind Jesus. Those are powerful, powerful words of profound truth. Let's look at these quotes. These are just added on to this message to give us a little more inspiration. The first quote is from Rabbi Harold Kushner. He wrote, "Can you see the holiness in those things you take for granted? A paved road or a washing machine. If you concentrate on finding what is good in every situation, you will discover that your life will suddenly be filled with gratitude, a feeling that nurtures the soul. Can you see the holiness in those things you take for granted? A paved road or a washing machine." Think about that. It's taking us back to those words of Jesus and that unknown author who said, gratitude consists of being more aware of what you have than what you don't. Think about what it would be like if we didn't have paved roads to drive to work or drive to our church or synagogue or center or to our entertainment facilities, whatever it may be. Think about that. How many times are we grateful that there's a paved road? How many times are we grateful for the stoplights that keep traffic under control? There is so many things to be grateful for if we fill our mind with gratitude and we take the time. I don't mean 24/7 you got to fill your mind with, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, but just have a sense of gratitude that all these things are there, and take a few moments every day to look at the things that we take for granted and feel the gratitude, get a sense of gratitude for those being here, being in existence. Let's look at these words from the Buddha. It tells us, let us rise up and be thankful. Let us rise up and be thankful. For if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. And if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we got sick, at least we didn't die. So let us all be thankful. I mean, that really summarizes a lot right there. Let us rise up and be thankful. For if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. And if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we got sick, at least we didn't die. So let us all be grateful. That's from the Buddha. Now, I've used these quotes before on this program and also in my messages. And here's the final one. This is from the great Dr. Ernest Holmes, the American mystic, from his book, Creative Minds and Success. He wrote, the reason we can make our requests known with thanksgiving is because we know from the beginning that we are to receive, and therefore we cannot help being thankful. This grateful attitude to the Spirit puts us in very close touch with power and adds much to the reality of the thing we are dealing with. Without it, we can do but little. So let us cultivate all the gratitude that we can. In gratitude, we will send our thoughts out into the world, and as it comes back, it will come laden with the fruits of the Spirit. Those are amazingly powerful words. The reason we can make our requests known with thanksgiving is because we know from the beginning that we are to receive, and therefore we cannot help being grateful, being thankful. That speaks of those words of the great Dr. O.C. Smith. And he said, I believe in my prayer and the answer to it. I believe in my prayer and the answer to it. And what is prayer? Prayer is every thought that we think, every idea that we hold in our mind, every image that comes to us. Prayer is every judgment that we make. Prayer is every thankfulness that we feel, every sense of gratitude that we take into our heart, our mind, and our soul. Prayer. Prayer is everything about us. going out into the world through this power of the mind, this power of the spirit that corresponds to us by responding to that which we believe to be true for us. And so it is, amen, and so it is, amen.